This is a story from 15 years ago, when a massive explosion from the sun, a solar flare, had occurred, which destroyed the ozone layer. Because of this, the balance of the Earth was completely disrupted, and the sun's dangerous rays, ultraviolet rays, raised the Earth's temperature up to 66 degrees Celsius. As a result, most humans, plants, and animals were wiped out. Now we see a man who's wearing protective clothing and wandering through a dusty storm, perhaps searching for food. Suddenly, a device on his wrist warns him that the radiation here is very high. After this, he goes into a closed store with his dog-like robot, where he finds a human corpse, but he ignores it and moves forward and sees that the store has already been looted. Still, he manages to find a few packets of dog food. Upon seeing them, he says, "Looks like someone is going to be very happy today." Then he marks a sign on the wall of the store, indicating that he has already been here. After this, he takes his truck and heads toward the city, bumping into cars parked along the way and moving forward playfully. Just then, his device starts beeping again, and a massive dust storm is seen rapidly approaching him. So he immediately turns the truck around and rushes toward his base. Finally, he reaches safety just in time. This man is Finch, who was previously an engineer at a robot manufacturing company, and now lives in that same old factory with his dog and an assistant robot, in the same company's factory where he used to work. Now, he feeds his dog and then goes to the laboratory. There, he picks up some important books and scans them. Actually, Finch is working on a human-like robot, a humanoid, so that after his death, this robot can take care of his dog, because Finch is suffering from a serious illness that can take his life at any time. That is why he wants the robot to be ready as soon as possible. Then one day, Finch succeeds in his work, and the robot starts to speak. Seeing this, Finch becomes very happy and says to his dog, "Congratulations, you have got a new friend." After this, Finch asks the robot some important questions. The robot explains that it has 4 rules. The first is that no robot can harm a human, and will not allow a human to get hurt under any circumstances. Finch says, "All right, now tell me the 4th rule." The robot explains that if Finch is not present, it will take full care of the dog, and will not let anything happen to the dog under any condition. This rule is the most important. The questions and answers are still going on when suddenly the electricity goes out. Finch goes up to the roof to fix the lights. Just then, he notices that a massive storm is rapidly approaching them. He comes down and connects the robot to the weather station and says, "Give me complete information about the weather." The robot explains that the storm will arrive within the next 24 hours, and it will be very dangerous. This storm will last for the next 40 days. Hearing this, Finch becomes even more worried, because if they stay here, they may not survive. So he decides that they must leave now. Then he carefully studies the map and feels that the western direction, west, will be the best option for them. He says to his dog, "Goodyear, we will go to San Francisco. If luck is on our side, we might find food and shelter there." Just then, blood starts dripping from Finch's nose, which was a sign that he now needed to hurry. Then, he prepares the robot. But by the time the storm arrives, he is only able to load 72% of the information into it, meaning the robot does not yet have complete knowledge. Because of this, it needed to learn. Finch teaches it to walk. As Finch walks, the robot imitates him. Then Finch takes food, drinks, and medicines, reaches his van, and they set off for San Francisco. Finch's van is a specially modified van, which remains protected from the outside heat and radiation. Now they move forward, enjoying the journey. Along the way, the robot looks at the empty cities and asks, "Where did everyone go?" Finch replies, "That is a long story. I will tell you some other time." Then Finch stops the van at a safe spot and says to the robot, "Come on, there's a lot I need to teach you." After this, they both go inside an old theater looking for food, where they find some popcorn. Finch brings them outside, and as soon as he places them on a plate, the popcorn starts popping on its own. Actually, Finch wanted to show the robot just how high the outside temperature was. Just then, they notice a massive storm rapidly approaching them. Finch immediately moves out from there, but soon he realizes that the speed of the storm is very high and they will not be able to escape. So he pulls the van to one side, and to secure it, he drives stakes all around it and ties it with cables. The robot also helps him, and before the storm arrives, they tie the van down firmly. The storm is so strong that the van starts to lift into the air. Several ropes break, but fortunately, they survive. After the storm passes, Finch comes outside and sees that one of the van's tires has been damaged. Seeing this, he becomes worried because they did have another tire, but there was no jack to change it. Just then, the robot helps Finch and lifts the van up with just one hand, which allows Finch to easily change the tire. Now, after receiving the robot's help, Finch feels very good. He says, "You did a very good job today. That is why I think you should have a name." Finch gives him the name Jeff. Then they all stay there for the night. Finch fixes his suit and teaches Jeff some important things. The next morning, as soon as the sun sun rises, the solar panels on the roof of the van open up on their own. Just then, Finch wakes up and sees that Jeff is imitating the dog. Finch says, "Don't make so much noise early in the morning." Jeff says, "I think the dog does not like me." Finch replies, "That is not the case. He just has not trusted you yet." Now Finch sets off for the next part of the journey. After traveling quite a distance, he suddenly starts feeling unwell. Just then, Jeff brings up the idea of driving. Finch says, "No, you were only just born yesterday." Then Finch stops the van in front of a restaurant and says, "I need a little rest. You stay here and take care of the van." Then he gets out of the van and goes inside the restaurant, where he starts coughing badly and blood begins to come out of his mouth. Hearing Jeff's voice, the dog also comes to him. Now Jeff is left alone in the van, and just then, his sharp mind starts working. He jumps into the driver's seat and tries to drive the van. When Finch sees the van moving from outside, he comes running out and sees that Jeff has crashed the van into a car. But because Finch could not go outside into the strong sunlight without his UV suit, he stood there and talked to Jeff, saying, "You are not ready to drive the van yet, so bring me my UV suit so that I can reach the van." But Jeff does not understand his words properly and drives the van again and crashes it once more. Seeing this, Finch becomes very angry. He calls Jeff over, and as he reaches his hand out into the sunlight, his skin begins to burn. Finch says, "I understand that you were only just made yesterday, but now the time has come for you to grow up. I built you so that you can take care of this dog, because unlike you, he cannot survive in the sunlight." Now Finch continues his journey forward. Just then, he feels that the time has come to teach Jeff how to drive. He teaches him driving. Jeff's ability to learn is very good, and within a short time, he learns to drive properly. Seeing this, Finch becomes very happy. Then as night falls, they stop at a place and light a fire. Finch sits there remembering his old days. He says to Jeff, "Look how beautiful the sky looks. Now you do not need to go to Alaska to see the aurora borealis." Just then, Jeff asks Finch, "If sunlight is so dangerous, then why don't we travel at night?" Finch explains, "Traveling at night is also not safe, because some people are still alive. They hide during the day, and as soon as night falls, they come outside and attack others. They can kill us and steal our food and belongings. That is why we cannot trust them." It was very cold outside, so Finch goes inside the van to sleep, while Jeff remains sitting outside near the fire. Then the next morning, the sound of coughing comes from the van. Jeff goes inside and sees that Finch is vomiting, and his condition has become very bad. He tries to help him and places a wet cloth on his forehead. Although Finch needed a doctor, there was no one nearby, so Jeff drives the van and continues the journey. A little while later, they arrive in a city that was completely deserted. Jeff stops the van and sees that Finch is in a deep sleep. Then he goes outside with the dog robot and heads to a hospital to find essential items, where he finds some medicines and a jacket. Meanwhile, when Finch wakes up, he sees that both his robots are not there. He quickly puts on his suit and sets out to find them. On the other side, the small robot spots a toy, and just as it goes to pick it up, it falls into a hidden trap and breaks into two pieces. Just then, Finch reaches inside the building and sees that the small robot is no more. He shuts it down forever. Just then, he finds Jeff, who had collected a lot of medicines. Finch says, "You should not have come here. This place is very dangerous." Then they both quickly run out of the building, start the van, and leave from there. At that same moment, we see another car starting up. Perhaps someone had spotted them. Finch takes out a gun for his safety. Now as they move along, night falls. Just then, he looks in the side mirror and sees that a car is following them. To shake them off, Finch steers the van off the highway. He was very nervous. In his hurry, as he tries to drive the van under a bridge, the van gets stuck because of the height, and the solar panels mounted on top break off. Now Finch becomes very frightened, and his hands and feet start trembling. Just then, Jeff gets out of the van, pushes it, and hides it under the bridge. Now when the people who were chasing them come close, they cannot see the van, and they drive away from there. After this, Finch gets out and becomes very sad seeing the broken solar panels. He says to Jeff, "Now we may never be able to reach San Francisco." Jeff says, "Don't give up like this. I believe in you. We will definitely reach the Golden Gate Bridge." After this, Finch tells him a story. He says, "When the sun's dangerous rays fell on the earth, the people who had survived began looting everywhere. I also went to a mall in search of food, but everything there had already been looted. Still, luckily, I found a packet of noodles there. Just then, a 9-year-old girl came there with her mother. They had a lot of food, but that girl had a gun in her hand. I hid out of fear and waited for them to leave. Just then, a man arrives there in a car. He wants to snatch their food, but when they refuse, the man shoots them. Both of them die right there. When I went to them, I heard a sound. That sound was coming from the girl's bag. When I opened the bag, bag, there was a small puppy inside. Hunger had turned humans into monsters, but I, a cowardly person, just kept watching. Hearing this story, Jeff falls silent. As soon as morning comes, they start the journey again. Along the way, Jeff reads the postcards that Finch's father had sent him. Just then, suddenly a butterfly hits the window of the van. When Jeff tells this to Finch, Finch becomes very surprised. He reaches one hand out of the van and sees that there are no intense rays of sunlight there. Then he comes out of the van and becomes so happy, as if he has been given a new life. Just then, another butterfly flies and lands on his hand. Now Finch becomes certain that this place is completely safe, where there are no dangerous rays of sunlight. Now Finch puts on his nice clothes, sets up a tent under the open sky, eats food, and enjoys that moment. Just then, Jeff says, "You had lied to me that the Golden Gate Bridge postcard was sent by your uncle, but it says Dad on the back." Finch replies, "My father was in the army. He used to build bridges like this, but he left us before I was born. We were never able to meet him. Then one day, when it was my 15th birthday, I received this postcard on which it was written that he would meet me at the Golden Gate Bridge. It was to impress him that I bought this suit, but we were never able to meet. I have kept so many postcards because I wanted to travel the world and go to that bridge and see its beauty, but I was never able to do that. We humans are also so strange. When we have time, we let the opportunity slip away." Hearing this, Jeff says, "Never mind. We will go there right now and explore it together." Finch says, "No, now my time has come. Promise me that after I am gone, you will take good care of this dog." Hearing this, Jeff nods his head in agreement. Now Finch starts playing with the dog and asks Jeff to join in playing as well. But the dog still does not trust Jeff, and every time brings the ball back to Finch. Finch smiles and says, "Never mind. Soon you two will become good friends." Just then, Finch suddenly vomits blood, and his condition starts to deteriorate very badly. He understands that his final time has now come. He shakes hands with Jeff, and Jeff emotionally hugs him. For Finch, these are very emotional moments. He is unable to say much more, and then goes inside the van to rest. Finch wanted to spend his final moments with his dog. He strokes him lovingly and slowly says goodbye to this world. Meanwhile, Jeff is packing up the belongings kept outside. Just then, he hears the sound of the dog crying. He understands that Finch is no longer in this world. After this, Jeff performs Finch's last rites right there. The next morning, when he wakes up, he sees that Goodyear is very sad. Then Jeff feeds him in the same way that Finch had taught him. After this, he starts playing ball with him. Slowly, a good friendship develops between Jeff and Goodyear. Now Jeff sets off towards San Francisco. After covering a journey of approximately 18 hours, they both arrive at the Golden Gate Bridge. Although Finch was not with them on this journey, who had always wanted to come to this bridge. Now, Jeff and Goodyear stand on the bridge and admire the beauty of the place. In memory of Finch, Jeff sticks that postcard on the bridge, on which a sketch of all three of them was drawn. Just then, his eyes fall on another note. On it was a girl's name and an address. Along with it was written, "We are safe. If anyone is reading this note, we will meet at this address." After this, Jeff sets out with Goodyear in search of that place, so that by joining the surviving people, he can make a new beginning. And with this, the movie comes to an end.